All right, cool. Welcome to the Cult of Personality podcast. I'm your host, per usual, Mikeymcchoppa. With us today is a very special returning guest. Not only was he our first producer on the Cult of Personality podcast, but now our first returning guest, Crota.
What's up? What's up? It's good to be
Wel-
here.
Welcome back. It is good to have you. It's good to see you. It's good to hear you. Welcome back, man. It's been a year. It's been exactly a year and a day since your last interview uploaded, man. And how's it been?
Life's been going. High school's done, so that's cool. Uh, got lots of things coming. Um, yeah, I mean, it's been a ride. It's crazy. It's been a year. Me and him were just talking about it. But yeah, I mean, a lot's happened, but at the same time, not enough. Because I always feel like there's more to do, and it's good to have plans and everything.
Right.
Uh, but I mean, yeah. I'm trying to think. I released one project I know uh under Cowbell Christ, my funk name.
Hell
But
yeah.
I'm gonna get like a beat store running here so that I can like actually, cut deals and stuff because I've sent out a couple beats since we last talked. Um, but I don't think I've gotten anybody using them. Um, but I mean, yeah, I gotta pick it up. Like, I can't wait to get people on stuff because I've been like, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's like I don't market myself enough. But yeah, I'm really hoping to get some people on my beats here soon. So
Hell yeah, bro. And I feel like beat stores are cool. Like I was on someone's beat store the other day, but also like I don't know, like it's kind of corny. Like YouTube beats are kind of corny, but I feel like YouTube's like cool for producers to find like I don't know, it's cool.
yeah, no, it is.
Yeah.
But
Hell
I'm
yeah,
not.
bro.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
I just know like Veins. So I don't know if you know who she is, but she's producer. And she's an artist actually. I think I found her through Fiji or something like that. But she posted somebody like. She asked this producer because I think she heard rumors that somebody was like stealing her beats and saying, hey, do you want this beat when it was literally hers? But
Right.
she reached out to this guy and she's like, hey, can I, what kind of beats you got? And he was like, I got this one. I hope you like it. And it was literally like her YouTube channel, just straight up the link, just right into the DMs of her. It was, yeah,
Wow.
I was like, is that a
That's
compliment? I
crazy.
don't know.
Yeah, so yeah, I guess YouTube beats or you being a YouTube producer kind of or like whatever the fuck a YouTube producer is kind of like leaves your work open for like all the plagiarism and like in the
Yeah.
world.
I mean, I'm not too concerned about that. I've never really been too concerned. Like, I don't put my tag and stuff unless it actually sounds good.
Right.
Um, so I mean, I'm not too concerned about that, but just like ease of use because I've just been sending out like links to my stuff, which is just like it's too much. Like, I don't know. And like having a PayPal and everything, I just prefer to do it like through one source. Um, and I really don't want to pay for track train because it's like kind of annoying you have to pay for all that. Like even if you have your own website, there's like all sorts of stuff. There's
Would
like
you
all,
would you
huh?
use BeatStars instead of Track Train or anything like that? Like, do you have a preference?
Well, I just like the track train,
Thank you, baby.
just everything about it. Like BeatStars, and Airbit, they're very similar, like very similar. And I feel like most people just use track train. That's like the new thing to use. And I mean, I like the way it's laid out and everything. I just prefer that over Airbit or BeatStars. So
That's awesome, man. Yeah,
yeah.
bro. Whenever you start that shit up, oh my God, that bong rip was amazing. Whenever you start that shit up, I will put that shit all over. I'll promote it. I'll put it in the description, whatever the fuck. Because you're really fucking talented. And like people like I don't know, like I feel like producers in general, but then that's not the case for every producer. But people like you, people like Willow and other producers like that, and like I feel like I'm missing someone, like there's another one I feel like. But I feel like you guys are very underrated. You guys are super fucking talented people and you guys are super low key, I feel like. And I feel like you guys should be put way higher, you know?
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
there's there's like so many producers, and I mean there's artists, but like I think being a producer, um, I mean being an artist has its own kind of challenges and different things like mixing vocals. I feel like mixing vocals, once you can mix vocals, you're pretty much set. Like I mean, obviously there's like the tonality of your voice and everything, but that's another part of mixing, which like a lot of beginners I feel like don't understand. Like my voice is kind of nasally, and so when I mix my own vocals, I have to kind of like play around with it and get rid of my own like because if I just drag a preset and I don't know, like Summer's preset, he has like a completely different voice than me. His voice is a little bit lower,
Hmm.
and so those presets are built towards his voice most of the time, especially if it's like an official preset. Um,
Right.
but I mean, yeah, just like artists have their kind of techniques, producers have their own challenges and all that. Like music theory, that's a big part that we kind of have to take into account.
Bro, that's like a whole thing that I can't even wrap my head around. And I'm like a music head, you know?
Yeah. I mean, artists do that too, but I have like mad respect for people that are artists and producers. Like I was just looking at something today on like Instagram. I can't remember who it was, but it's gonna bug me not knowing who it was. But he's like a really popular artist, and oh, it was Ken Carson. Ken Carson. He produced like this other really big song, and I was actually looking into like Chirac Drill and Young Chop, and that's crazy that like it's crazy how popular Young Chop was for that whole style and like all those old dudes like 10 years ago. It's crazy to think that drill was 10 years ago.
Bro, oh my God. This is a whole thing that I don't get to talk about because people don't bring up drill like ever, I
Mhm.
feel like. But like, bro, my uncle put me onto so much drill music, so like it's so fun to talk about and like observe, bro. I've done like watch documentaries about like Chirac and why it's named fucking
Yeah.
Old Block and all this shit and stuff. And it's just like so crazy that it's like such a culture beyond music, you know?
Yeah.
But it's so crazy that that was 10 years ago. It's like time is flying, like Chief Keef, True Religion wave and all that shit.
I think it's like I feel like it's made a comeback kind of or like at least ironically almost.
It definitely I'm glad you say ironically because that's how I feel. Like I feel like it came back ironically, but some
Yeah.
people aren't doing it ironically. But
Yeah.
yeah, True Religion came back ironically because of I feel like because of like Cemetery and that whole shit,
Hmm. Yeah.
that whole wave going on.
It's crazy Cemetery got put on so fast. Like TikTok obviously helped him out big time, like as many as, all the other artists like Sigil Core and all that.
Right.
But I mean, to have a tour with, was it Suicide Boys and Freddie Dredd?
Suicide Boys, yo, bro. Listen, Cemetery and Haunted Mound are performing in Madison Square Garden, the world's most famous arena, smack middle in New York City. Do you know how
That's
much
actually,
history that arena has? And they blew up within what, the last 2 years?
yeah, yeah.
Isn't that insane?
I mean, I don't know. They got a good deal, label, like record deal, whatever. Somebody put them on big time.
Yeah, and they're not even signed with a big label. I think they're signed to Mascarilla.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think that, yeah.
Isn't that so crazy? So they're doing it small label, pretty much DIY, bro. That shit's so crazy.
And Freddie Dredd's with them. That's cool. I'm
Hmm.
glad that he went up because I mean, he's a good guy.
I haven't listened to him, but I looked at the lineup and it looks like a solid lineup overall. Like
I don't
every
know who
artist.
else is there. I just know they're like the main three.
I think Ghostmane, Suicide Boys,
Oh yeah.
Cemetery and the Haunted Mound, and shit like that. I forgot the rest. The one you mentioned, and then I think there might have been one more, but I could be wrong.
I'm kind of sad Ghost Mountain isn't on the Haunted Mound, but
Yo, me too. You know,
yeah.
he's really talented, but I like completely understand. Like he apparently he wanted to like go like be a filmmaker or some shit and
I mean,
go.
there's no way he would have known that they were gonna go up like that, you know?
Yeah, and maybe and even then, maybe he didn't want that attention. You know,
Yeah,
I
that's a
don't.
good.
He kind of seemed like he has his passion and he's sticking to it beyond like. anything to do with like fame. But
Yeah.
it's so crazy that like I was watching a video and it completely reminded me that like Ghost Mountain was like the other founder of the Haunted Mound and like what it is now. I was like, holy shit, like he's not even connected to that at all anymore. And I don't know, not to be like a weirdo, but like that was
Yeah.
what
I
it
mean,
popped in my
gone but not
brain.
forgotten, you
Right.
know.
Yeah, he's really, I mean, he's good. Fucking Coil's dope. That's
He's
like
on some iconic songs.
banger. Yeah. And
Um,
yeah. Hell yeah, bro. So crazy. So crazy. Cold personality.
where'd you get
Cro-
that shirt at?
I got it on Depop.
Okay.
I guess technically now it'd be considered vintage because it's like what, like 10 years old.
Yeah.
It's a fucking wrestling t-shirt from like when I was a kid type shit. I found it on Depop, so I had to cop it.
Oh, that's sweet.
Hell yeah. Yeah, man. Yo, man. I'm getting whistles over from my left side. I'm being catcalled. What was I gonna say? Man, it's been a year. Let's focus back on you.
Okay, okay.
Damn, bro. Within the last year, I mean, how's it been? Like, how have you been working? Like, what have you been working on? I know you said you were working on with you had a thing with Cowbell Christ and stuff. But like, has there been any like goals or anything, any progression, anything you've been working on, like of significant, like what's the word, internally?
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. Um, so I don't know if I brought this up on the last podcast, but my junior year, I just kind of like my schooling wise, like my school year,
Hell
I
yeah,
kind of
bro.
like,
You graduated, bro,
yeah,
right?
I did finally.
Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you. But like my junior year, I didn't really apply myself, I think, as best I could.
Hmm.
And I definitely didn't set myself up for like getting accepted to colleges or anything like that as best as I could. And like my senior year, there was like the whole, college process, whatever. But like I really wanted to kind of like redeem myself, I guess you could say. I wanted to redeem myself senior year.
Right.
I think that was like probably my biggest goal of just this year, which I did. I would say I redeemed myself. I had like what was it, a 3.2 GPA, which I wasn't too proud of. And then it like, I don't know, I can't remember. I think it was supposed to be go up like 4.4 points was my goal, 3.6. But there was like this dude at graduation, these two, I think three people. The valedictorian had like gosh, it was like a 4.5 or something like that.
Sheesh. Those
Which
people be overachievers.
for real, like
That's how I feel.
they have to take like AP classes, which are like way, way extra.
That's how I felt in school when people took like all AP classes and they were like in every sport and shit. It's like, why are you trying so hard?
Hmm.
This is government mandated education.
Yeah.
Why are you taking it to the extra step and making it your whole life? Do something outside of here, you know? Go to the mall or some shit. Like do something. Fucking volleyball, softball, fucking AP history, after school theater. Like, bro, what are you doing?
Yeah, I was looking it up because I was just curious, like, what are the, I guess, stereotypes behind your GPA? Which
Right.
I think we've all seen those, like, comments on TikTok where it's like zero point 0.4 GPA activities,
Yeah.
which are pretty
Yeah.
funny. But I think it was like below a 3.0. It said like they spend too much time with friends. Like, who spends that much time with their friends where they're like failing? I mean, not failing, but like, I don't even know what
Where
I don't know. Is that like a C average or something like that? I
I
don't know.
have no idea. That's something
But
like that left my brain once I graduated.
but like it has nothing to do with that. I feel like
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
not at all. It's like
There's so many
people
factors.
I feel like it's so funny, like growing up and going to school and stuff, people make the weirdest excuses for like failing. People be like, "Oh, you play too much video games. Oh, you sleep too much. Oh, I don't know, like like you don't pay
Yeah.
attention in class." Da da da. It's like, bro, you're forcing me to wake up at like the butt crack of dawn to go somewhere I don't want to go. You expect me to pay attention with brain fog in the morning? I don't want to be here. Like it's not realistic.
Yeah.
I feel like it's so funny.
I think. really what it is like it's basically just a test to yourself because if you don't plan on going to college, it really doesn't matter. I mean, if you do
Or
plan to go to college, you're pretty much forced to do well because
right.
in order to go to, whatever college,
You
XYZ
need to
college.
have like meet whatever quota they have.
Yeah, exactly. But like if you don't know what you want to do, I would still say it's important because you learn things about yourself. Like you learn time management with all this work you have to do, and if you're in clubs and stuff, you learn time management.
Right.
And like I think what you don't get in school is like leadership because leadership is like so important
Facts.
and not so much because you need to learn to control people, but I think with leadership it just brings so many new different like perspectives and points of view. Um, and it's just like there's really nothing like leadership that gives you those kinds of I mean, have you led anything? I mean, you lead this podcast.
I lead the
In a
podcast.
way, you have leadership in the podcast, but
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's important, which I
I
don't know.
think I think so too. I completely agree. A lot of people I feel like lack initiative because they lack leadership. People lack the drive to take control or take reins of life and do what they want to do because they lack leadership. I feel like leadership takes courage, and leadership also has a whole other sense or aspect because leadership has a sense of responsibility, which then you need to be like I don't know, like a responsible, empathetic
Yeah.
person. It requires a lot to have leadership.
And especially like putting yourself out there, I think.
Yeah,
Because like for you to say, I'm gonna make this podcast, I'm gonna just tell people about myself, I'm gonna have other people tell them about themselves. And I mean, you have this whole brand and everything, and keeping that up is important. And I mean, I would say it takes responsibility because how long has it been? Like, you've been doing this, what, a year?
I've been doing this for. I mean, I
Over a
started
year.
in a year and like 4 months.
Yeah, I mean, there you go. That's like you've shown responsibility in the podcast. And
Yeah, I mean, I definitely take it as like a responsibility. I kind of feel like like the following I have is like I don't know. I feel like what I try to do is like just show you guys new people and shit. So I kind of feel like I have this responsibility of making content for the sake of everyone networking and getting to make music together and all this stuff and cool stuff.
yeah,
Not like in a weird or like I don't know what even like the word would be like not in like a weird like ego trip way, like
no, I know what
egotistical
you mean.
like in a completely humble, wholesome like this is like really just like for the love of the art.
Yeah.
So
I feel kind of the same way with music. Because it's like when I'm not making music, like when I make music, I almost feel obligated to make something that gives other people the same kind of feeling I got out of the song. And I really want, especially like for artists, when it comes to artists, I really want artists to like a beat. I don't want to pay them to use it, you know,
right.
which I'm actually doing. Funny, I'm doing that right now. I'm paying this guy because he was like, it was just out of the blue. Sometimes I'll just do things without really thinking. I mean, I did think about it, but I really don't spend money too often.
I get you. I completely get you.
Like, I'm trying to hear this dude on my beat, and I know it's a good beat, right? I
Right.
just want to hear somebody on it. I just want to see if I have potential,
Right.
right? And I mean, he's not the easiest guy to work with, unfortunately, even though he has
Okay.
like 3,000 SoundCloud followers and he's pretty active.
Right.
He's like, I just can't deal when people give me false promises like I'll have this done tomorrow, right? And then he says the next day, sorry, I had things to do. I'll do this tomorrow. And then
In that case, just don't say a specific day, to
just
like at least
yeah,
have an
just
expectation there. Just say I'm gonna get it done soon.
exactly. Like it's it's okay. You don't have to tell me it's going to be done tomorrow. If you don't think you can do it, then just don't tell me that.
Right. Yeah. I
Like
complete.
that takes responsibility. If maybe if he was in the Boy Scouts or something, he would have done it on time or something. I don't know. Give me a reasonable date, but
Yeah.
um
Word.
but talking about music, I mean, Track Train, I'm getting that up soon. I wish I could get it. Unfortunately, let's see. It's probably going to be like a little over a month, like at the end of July, because I'm not trying to have PayPal annihilate my account.
I
Uh,
got you.
yeah. So anyway, Track Train's coming up. What was I talking about? Like songs and stuff. Yeah. So when I make something, I really want to make it well, and um, I think that so there's times when like I'll feel like I can do anything. I can make any beat, right? I'm like, this is FL Studio. This is a brand new version of FL Studio. People use the old versions of FL to make absolute bangers. Young Chop,
Bro, iconic.
he was going crazy on FL, right? He had everything in his fingertips. Why can't I do that? So I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna make some beats, right? And then like yesterday, I was just sitting there. I like went through three beats. I made a little something, something, saved it, bam, moved on to the next one. Saved it, bam, moved on to the next one. And they weren't great. Unfortunately, they were not bangers. But I'm not going to let that stop myself because there's always tomorrow and there's always maybe I need a clear head. Maybe I need to
Right.
think a different way. And going back through songs that I haven't finished that I like love, that really like gives me motivation. And yeah, so
Hell
yeah,
yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, maybe I feel like another approach to it, maybe taking a slower approach to it and really just like focusing on one,
yeah, I
like
feel
some
that.
one really in depth, just to like, get you in the groove of it. In the groove of things. Like, I don't know, like a mojo, you know?
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. Because like, I'm trying to think. I was watching this video. He's in Internet Money. He produced a song by, can't remember. I think it was Yeet or something. Basically, this dude dragged in a melody from this dude's melody kit, added some drums and a bass, like 808. In
Right.
like less than 5 minutes, he made that beat, and then it he made like thousands off of it. In less than
He
5 minutes,
didn't
he made a
he
beat.
didn't even really do much.
I mean, that is true. He didn't make the melody. But then you see Nick Mira, right? He makes
Right.
three beats, and they could all be used by, name an artist. They could all be used by him, and that's money right there. And they're all like great beats, but he has the music theory knowledge I think I don't really have. Like, he has everything down to a science, which,
Hmm.
I mean, you could argue, like, oh, it's not, he doesn't take his time with it. He really doesn't make good beats or whatever. But I mean, I don't know how many people would say that. I think they're all good beats.
I mean, he has a high reputation for a reason.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, that's another reason. Like, he can do that. Why can't I do that? And so that's how I like to think of things.
But
Challenge myself.
you exactly. Honestly, bro, I realize that as long as you're striving for more, you're gonna keep progressing.
Hmm.
As long as you're not settling at something, you know?
Yeah,
Hell yeah. So and with you have that drive. You're like, you're comparing yourself to some high rep people. To overcome that, you have to make hella progress, and then boom, you're like,
yeah.
not to be dramatic or extra, all these hand gestures, but you're like, hell yeah.
But I've been making like all sorts of stuff. Um, I really like emo plug, which is basically just like emotional plug music, kind of. That's basically all it is, really. Um, but that takes like, I mean, there's all sorts of stuff. I've also been thinking like of a new genre, like just completely new genres, which I'm not saying I'm trying to like be a sellout and make only this one type of music that nobody else has made and then complain when all of a sudden it pops up out of nowhere. I'm not trying to be like that. I'm just saying like, what is the next genre? You know, like
Bro.
what's going to be the next thing? Because it's so weird to think about right now. Like we wear t-shirts, right? But what did
Hmm.
they wear in like the 20s? They wore suits everywhere. They wore like,
And
formal stuff.
hats. Yeah.
But now everything is like so chilled out. Everybody's so casual. It's
Right.
like, you know, it's
And
weird to think about. Like, is there ever really going to be a significant change, or are we kind of leveled out? Like, there's only so far we can go, is what
no,
I'm.
we could get hella new genres, bruh. You
No, I'm
but
I'm saying like as far as fashion wise. I mean, with music,
oh yeah, fashion. Oh my God, yeah,
yeah,
you're right. Fashion, I feel like fashion, we are at a point where we've done every like there's every era that we could have had, we had it, and now everything is just a reincarnation of those eras.
yeah,
We could create new eras, but maybe we can't, to be honest. Maybe we it's just done. Like maybe we're just like at a point in society, like as a one consciousness, that we're like past the need for eras and like one true phase of everybody's look, you know?
yeah,
Because everyone's so different. I
yeah.
don't
I
know.
get what you mean? Because like, there's almost a point where it just plateaus. Like, maybe if we had another arm, then there's like something to do with that, you know? I don't know. It's just like the human race only goes so far. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It's just like there's nothing left. At what point do you just go naked and there's no more fashion?
Yeah.
Like ironic fashion, that's probably like the latest trend, ironic fashion.
Yeah, but that's not really a new trend. It's kind of like a reincarnation of like 10 years ago, like Jersey Shore, like fucking suntan dudes with the tank tops that literally said like the same shit these shirts are
Yeah.
saying now, you know?
Yeah. I
Too
don't know.
funny.
But like, yeah, I mean, Witch House. What is Semetary's genre? Does it have a genre?
He's like witch house slash
Witch
like
House drill or something? Trap?
drill trap.
Plug? Well, it is kind of plug-esque. I mean, he does all sorts of stuff. I don't really like putting people in a box,
Me
but
neither.
just for like, so we can get a good reference here, you
Right.
know.
Put it down on paper.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I mean,
Yeah. He
music
he
wise, sorry.
he has a lot, not to like cut you off. He has like a lot of inspirations, I feel like. I don't know any of them, but like his music is so like I don't know. It's like different shit.
Versatile.
Yeah. Even though even though like if you listen to discography, it all kind of sounds the same. But like if you like break it down into like genres and boxes and shit, it is versatile because it kind of takes different inspirations from so much like underground shit, I feel like.
Yeah, I think his producer definitely helped with that, which I know he's produced quite a bit of his own stuff, but like Oscar 18
Yeah.
and I don't really keep up with the Haunted Mountain that much, but I know he's a producer on there. I don't know if
Yeah.
Buckshot. Does Buckshot produce?
Maybe.
I
I
feel like
he sings. I know that. I don't know if he produces.
okay. Um, but yeah, I mean, as far as my music goes, I really just I change around. I really don't stick to one thing because I'll just get bored and um, I really want to learn to. I mean, I'm at a point now where I think if I hear something, I can make something very close to it, and I have the most confidence in doing that now, as opposed to like when you talked to me last time. Um, I think I maybe lacked a bit of confidence. Um, and I think what I was saying last time was also I want to work on my beats. I don't know if I did say this, but I know for a fact that I even now I still feel this way. I need to work on my beats more than my like cowbell funk, um, because I mean cowbell funk. I've been doing that for a while,
Right.
and it's kind of ramping down, and it's almost like a joke to make it now because it's like it just blew up out of nowhere, and everybody's making these stupid TikToks with the music, Giga Chads in the gym and whatnot.
Yeah.
Um, but like making beats that people can rap on because there's like a whole engineering side to that, which I don't really have experience with, like leaving headroom for people, arranging songs, which I've struggled with for the longest time. Arranging songs, which do you know what that is? A lot of people don't even know what arranging is.
And to explain it.
Okay, so basically this is how a song is laid out. Intro, chorus or verse, uh, and then usually chorus or verse, which will be usually chorus, verse, something
Okay.
like that. But yeah, you have like chorus, verse, bridge, which is like 8, 16 bars, which just kind of carries on into the chorus, and then that's usually the end of the song, like 2 minutes long. You just had the intro, which is pretty short. I mean, I hope. I mean, you can usually you can sometimes get away with having an intro like a minute long, like Love Sosa. Is that's the name of it? I hope.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
good.
What the fuck?
So you know what I'm talking about. And yeah, that's like a minute long intro, which I don't know how like that was risky because I mean, how many songs do you hear that are that popular having like a minute long intro?
I don't know. I listen to a lot of older rock songs, so a lot of them do have like minute long intros.
Like
I
Tool or something? I know Tool has some weird experimental songs, but I don't know about that, but I'm just saying.
yeah. Like even I mean even some like punk rock songs. Like I've been listening to a lot of hardcore and I know recently We Gotta Know by the Cro-Mags. It has a fucking minute long intro.
Are
And
they
it's
talking or
no, it's just instrumental.
oh, okay.
But
Well, I mean,
it's like a build up.
yeah, okay, yeah. That's I mean, he's Love Sosa's kind of like or Chief Keef is like kind of raging
Hmm.
and then with the beat playing in the background and then it starts. But
No, yeah, it has it has the video sample of the guy of the fucking that one Chief Keef fan. Yeah, that's just funny as hell.
yeah. Is it
Yeah,
not Chief Keef saying all that?
no, that's not Chief Keef.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
No,
don't know
no,
what I'm talking about then. I guess sorry.
no, it's chill, man. Yeah, no, that was like a video that went viral, and then he sampled it, and that shit was so fire. People was telling me in the barbershop, she ain't this, she ain't that. Shut the fuck up. Yeah,
It's
it's
so
just
funny.
it is so funny, bro. Hanging out with Lil Reese and them.
Um, but yeah, I mean,
But
I'm always
yeah,
listening to all sorts of music. So
y- yeah, bro. And it's dope that you're should I mean, it sucks that I feel like something you enjoyed like Cowbell Christ is now feeling like a little less enjoyable for you. But I feel like that hopefully that like pushes you into progressing as Crota and like obviously like whatever you want to do when it comes to like doing more collaborative like friendly beats and shit like that for like
yeah,
artists and stuff. Dope. I think that's so dope, you know?
yeah. I mean, like I said, I feel kind of like obligated to give people music. So I'm always gonna I'm gonna. I mean, I was thinking about it for a minute, kind of. I guess you could say closing out my Cowbell Christ project. Um, but I just feel like that would disappoint a lot of people. And I think there's going to be a time where I really do want to get back into that because, like, as my current self, Crota, I don't really have like a fan base. I mean, I have friends and all that, but it's not like I consistently release music.
Right.
Um, and I don't really have a brand because it's really just me and just things
Right.
I like to do for the most part. But like as Cowbell Christ, I do have this whole brand and I try not to really put myself into it. I mean, it's obviously my music and stuff, but I try to keep everything really positive. And even, I mean, I'm a positive person. Even if I do make like, I really want to make like depressing music, which is kind of messed up. I don't want to make people,
I
I
love depressing music.
don't want people to hurt
There should be
themselves
no
to my music.
apology.
But I mean, yeah, Cowboy Christ is just like ultimately an art project. So I always like doing it when I do it. I mean, I can get discouraged just like everybody, but I think there's times where like I just want to make something and I really do make something good. And if I was to do that while I had my Cowboy Christ account closed and it'd be messed up to post on there after like saying, "Hey, I'm not doing this anymore."
Right.
But I just can't do that. I just can't close something out like that. So
Yeah, man. I mean, there should be no like burn bridges or closed doors to art, you know? You feel it when you feel it, and it's always there for you.
yeah. Well, that's
Hell
why I like
yeah.
to take my time with things because if I was to close it just spontaneously, like, okay, guys, bye, that would just, that wouldn't be good. So
Farewell, everybody. It was good while it lasted.
that would be so bad.
Ran to the wheels
Like
fell
whenever I
off.
feel a certain way, just make up my mind instantly.
Yeah, man. There's definitely artists out there that like quit music like 6 times a month on their Instagram story. Some shit.
Um,
What did I say? Yeah, man. So where does the vision go from here for Crota sound wise?
Sound wise, I'm looking into. I mean, the challenge for me with music has always been, there's not like, I've always had a hard time even explaining this. Um, but I mean, maybe this applies to everything. But let's say, for example, English. Okay. This is good. I like this. Okay, so you have English. You don't know English, right? You
Okay.
learn the alphabet. You learn how to make words with these things, right? So that can be compared to you open up FL Studio, you know what these buttons do, and you can drag sounds, you can learn to download stuff, and you can
Right.
pay for it like an idiot. But anyway, you can download sounds, and then you can put them on this canvas, which is FL Studio, and then so you have English, you made these words, you can make sentences with these words. You can talk to people with these words, right? So you can make chords which evoke an emotion and you can add drums. You can add emotion to your sentences. You know, how are you doing today? Oh, you're sad. I'm sorry to hear that. Right? You add emotion to it. You really make people feel personal with it and you
Right.
evoke emotion with it. And when it comes to the engineering side of music, there's no real like there's no trying to think. Um, there's like compressors and there's delay and there's reverb, which with like music or with English, there's like so many words.
I feel like engineering and like producing is more like numbers and like math than like, you know, I don't know. Not
Well,
producing, like no, not producing, just engineering is more like numbers.
I mean like yeah, I guess there's frequencies and stuff to engineering, but getting a professional sound, I don't know if that analogy was the best. I mean, it was for like English and music making,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah. I
I was
completely
trying to
understood it. You had me all the way through.
I tried to compare it to engineering music, which I've had a troubling time with because there's no one to say like this sounds perfect. There's no way to do that
There's
because
no standard.
there's there's no standard exactly. And it's tough when you're learning to do it all by yourself and not have a teacher
Right.
because I mean, you can be taught how to use the compressor and but if you don't have confidence that it sounds good, um it just takes so long to perfect. Like it just does. It just takes so long because you can listen to it on all these different speaker systems and it'll sound different. Um, and so what's next for me, I think, is perfecting that sound and making everything sound as good as I can. Which I get like I always second guess myself with stuff on my SoundCloud and stuff because I don't think it sounds to par. I mean, if you're an artist, it might sound good. If you don't know too much about mixing, I mean, I feel like some people could even if they're just like a beginner artist and they don't really know too much about music, you can hear that there's certain parts that are a little bit annoying. I don't know how to. That might sound weird without an example, but um, yeah, I mean, it's tough engineering. So I want to learn that. I've been wanting to learn that forever. And I think now because I can make beats and I'm confident I can make good beats, mixing is a good part of that.
Hell yeah.
So
A part of the progress.
yes. But also when it comes to music, uh just making more beats, really. I mean, just making more beats and having a store. I can't wait to have a store to have. I mean, even if people don't really buy beats on it or visit it,
But
it's just
all you need is like a platform, and that will be your platform to, at least showcase your work, you know?
Hmm.
like I guess beyond SoundCloud, because SoundCloud's like you could showcase your work, but it's not really like in a marketing sense.
Yeah.
It's more so like in a community, I guess, sense.
Hmm.
So that's cool. You get your bag that way if people start copping beats. Hopefully,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, that would be nice. And I hope I don't, because I'm thinking about putting like beats that I sampled stuff on there because I've made some good beats that are like sampled. I mean, a lot of people use samples in their beats, but putting it up on stores like that,
It might
because
get tricky. I don't know.
yeah, basically my track train might get nuked if I if if I put beats up on there like that. But I've never heard of anybody's getting nuked. I just
Yeah, I don't think they're like strict. I don't feel like they're like super strict on those platforms. I feel like we're so used to shit like YouTube and Instagram and shit where they
I
like
mean,
ban you for anything.
if I sampled like Justin Bieber or like a really recognizable song, then I think there's a higher chance of it getting deleted, but
Right.
I think we're chilling.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah. As long as you're not sampling no mainstream shit, you're in the clear. But it's cool because I feel like you have like really niche like inspirations anyway. Like I don't remember our music inspirations conversation last time, but
Yeah.
I remember talking about like EDM and electronic and dubstep and shit.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I know like your inspiration. I know you listen to a lot of music and shit. Like I know we've had that conversation. So I know you have good inspirations and shit. Therefore, I feel like your sampling won't run into any issues.
Yeah. There's this one song by this guy, Oaf One, and I think it's from like 2020. Um, and he sampled Daft Punk doing it right, and the song's called Doing It Wrong. But like that sample, it just sounds so good. Like Daft Punk, they just have such a way of, to me, I feel like Daft Punk is almost like something I strive to be
Ooh.
because I think all of their everything they've ever made, or at least this one album, their most popular one, Random Access Memories, that is like the pinnacle of production and just music in general for me. Like the production value is stellar, and the way that they experimented with everything, that is like, I mean, it's beautiful. Just the whole record, I think, is beautiful. So I think that was like probably my first CD I ever owned. Which nowadays is, kind of not a thing, but um,
Man, see, I feel the same way. That's cool though, that with Daft Punk because Daft Punk's like critically acclaimed, I know, like and you're already going into it, like, but it's like, dude, I feel like Daft Punk is kind of like up there with even like I wouldn't say like a Michael Jackson or anything, but like they're like a like everyone knows Daft Punk. Everyone.
yeah,
So for you to strive to be like that or to want to be, anything near that or anything, that's like aiming super high, which kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier, with like kind of like always striving to be for more,
yeah.
which is, that's great. But hell yeah, bro. Daft Punk is dope. I don't know much of like their non-mainstream shit.
Hmm.
I never like went into their discography beyond like, what you hear on the radio and shit. But
Yeah,
even that is like super like cool because like that shit would go mainstream and hit like radio and go super fucking popular. And it was kind of like niche or like kind of like its own thing. It didn't have any inspiration from like any trends or anything going on in that era,
yeah,
which is really fucking sick.
yeah, yeah, definitely. Like just being that creative. Sometimes I feel like I put myself in a box. Like I only listen to, if I only listen to stuff that's on SoundCloud,
Mm.
and I just take stuff from that and incorporate it into my music, just listening to it and listening to what they're doing. I just feel like that's not enough. I just need to like do something on my own. Just take something from like my life experiences and put that into my music somehow, which I just don't really do. I mean, maybe I like a show or something, or like I'll listen to a song and it has like a sad quote in it or something like that, and I'll put that in because I just like the way it sounds. Which I don't like stuff to be cringy. I don't mean like, some anime. Like, I mean, anime has good quotes in it though. Like,
Hell yeah. Hella good
I mean,
quotes.
music can be cringe, but that's how you make it. You think it's cringe, so it's free
Hell
your
yeah.
mind. But
I mean, I feel you, bro. When I made my project, whatever project's on my SoundCloud, Mercurial, whatever, um, I put a lot of like little like snippets from like some of my favorite shit in there too, because I also like struggle with like actually putting like genuine raw emotion to my music. Like
yeah,
I've had some like rare instances where I hit it on the head, but it's like often where I'm kind of like just like writing lot like with like the non-emotional side of my brain, kind of like with
yeah,
the more logical English English class side of my brain. Like, okay, structuring this fucking these lyrics and shit, you know?
yeah,
So
yeah.
I feel you.
I mean, being an artist, I feel like it's easier to really explain how you're feeling because you can say it. You can say it, and um, I think there's like an art to almost making it cryptic, like Mac Miller. I don't think he really ever said the meaning to a lot of his lyrics because he'd like to leave it up to your interpretation, which, I mean, at the end of the day, for me, I think maybe I try to convince myself it's for others, but it's really something I like to do. But I don't like to make anything I do selfish. So, um, I like to say it's for other people, but I also do it for me because I like to do it. And yeah, I mean, but being an artist, you can actually say it. While you're a producer, you can write all these nice notes and, do all this fun stuff, but you can't say it. And I think a lot of producers, uh, I don't know. I mean, it's tough. It's tough because being an artist, like I've tried to sing and stuff. I tried to do a little something, something, but I mean, I've made one decent song at least. Um, but it was just a joke
Would
song. Like,
would you want to do more vocals and like
I don't really
more?
like my voice for things. Like my voice, I don't listen to anyone that has my voice, or at least I'm trying to say this the right way. Uh, I'm not like a hard guy. I couldn't do like, you know, just generic rap
I
music where you talk about money and all this stuff. Like,
I
I'm not
feel
like that.
no, yeah, I definitely feel like you can find like a Midwestern emo like artist that like matches Crota.
But I don't know. I've struggled with it for a long time. I haven't really tried. I mean, I have this microphone here, which I wanted to use the Shure SM7B or whatever, this dynamic microphone, but I'm like struggling with it. I wanted to use it for this podcast, but I have to buy like this thing preamp to make it louder because if I use it, you wouldn't be able to hear me like at all. So
Yeah, those
I'm
mics
using
are
this
tricky, bro.
webcam mic. But yeah, I mean, I want to try that. I definitely do want to try more music, but I don't know if I would make it under Crota because I just don't like to make things personal, I think, because uh, it can be taken so many different ways. I think like Cowbell Christ, when I started that, I didn't make it under Crota because I just felt like if I was to promote it on Crota and all that, like so many people, because I knew I was starting out and it wasn't going to be the greatest thing. I knew it wasn't going to be perfect. And so
Right.
by making this other kind of project, I could almost have an excuse and say, "Oh yeah, it's just a project. I was just experimenting." But as soon as I like tie it to myself, people instantly can just, write it off as, "Oh, wow, you're not very good at music." But by having this other kind of character, this other, it doesn't exist. I almost treat Capo Christ as a version of myself though, because I mean, I've never been a religious person, but that really is like, I would say probably like the religious side of me, the spiritual side, because my general worldview, unfortunately, is very pessimistic, just the way I like. long term logistically is very pessimistic,
Right.
but I have values, believe it or not. So that's like where I can express them. And yeah, Cowbell Christ is really probably one of the best things I've ever done and one of the best parts of my life.
Hell
So
yeah, bro.
truly, so
Which means you can't close the door on Cowbell Christ, like we talked about
exactly,
earlier.
exactly.
Yeah, man. It's so dope that you kind of have like multiple outlets to put out multiple like different types of work and like whatever you're feeling. I think it's really healthy actually for an artist, and you see other artists do it too, and that's sick, man. You know,
Yeah.
It-
Um, yeah.
would Cowbell Christ ever become anything beyond like not funk? Because obviously like that's like the whole like gist, right? But
Yeah.
like, have you ever like thought of getting more? I don't know. I don't follow your Cowboy Christ. Like I follow it maybe, but I don't like keep up with what you be putting out. So
Yeah.
I don't know like what you've experimented with and stuff. But like, would you like the way you're progressing as Crota, a producer? Would you want to progress as Cowboy Christ, like in the sense of like experimenting with more funk and different styles and different sounds and shit?
Um, I mean, yeah, I feel like there's a big problem with funk right now, mainly because I mean, first of all, the stuff I make, it is funk in a way, but it's really not what funk used to be,
Mm-hmm.
which funk used to be like 90s Memphis 3 6 Mafia, and Tommy Wright the Third, I mean, Tom Ski Mask. There's so many artists, which used to be like horrorcore funk, which I don't even know if that's funk. I think that's more horrorcore rap, but it popped up probably about 10 years ago with, or even before that, Space Ghost Perp. He really made it popular, but it's like kind of like smoked out, chill um, rap or beats with like jazz elements. That's really what funk is. Funk isn't just this really loud. I like to call funk what funk is now, like cowbell funk. I like to call it alternative dance music. Um,
Yeah, I feel like. And like to add on to what you were saying before you continue on,
yeah.
like I really enjoy '90s like the Memphis sounding shit and like 3 6 Mafia and shit like that. Whenever that shit pops up on Spotify and like I always like press the little radio mix to like see what else is going on.
Mhm.
And I feel like now what happened is like the media and like whether it's video games or movies that like popularized a certain subgenre of funk, and now it like kind of consumed what funk is.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Like I feel like people whenever I see funk like on TikTok and stuff, it's always tied to like, oh, this should be on the next fucking Need for Speed or some shit. Like it's always like drift funk or something, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm so I don't know. That maybe that's like me like with warped perception, but
Well, I think right now it's in a tough spot because it's so oversaturated and there's just not any originality in it.
mm,
Everybody's copying everybody else, and it's just I feel like right now it's kind of just sellout territory because everybody's like, oh, it's so easy to make. It's so easy to make. I mean, yeah, it is so easy to make. I mean, that's why everybody's making it and but they're making money from it. And
right.
so it's kind of in a spot where drill was at like 10 years ago, 8 years ago, whatever.
Bro, even where drill was at, like now, like New like or not now because now everyone's locked up, but like 2, 3, 4 years ago, like New York drill, all drill, Chicago drill, DC drill, fucking
Yeah.
or Miami, everything, everybody was popping and like drill is the big shit. You saw the 808s with the fucking all the fucking zigzaggy ass drill
Yeah.
shit going on everywhere. Pop Smoke made it a fucking phenomenon. So I feel you. Like I feel like that's like those two genres are like they have that effect, you know?
Yeah. Because like everybody, once Chief Keef came up, like they saw, oh, he came up, maybe I could do the same thing because I'm from the same
Yeah.
place and I'm, experiencing the same things. And I mean, obviously it's vastly different. Um, but in the same sense though, people are looking at it and saying, oh, this is popular. Let's see if I can do something with this. And I mean, that's one way to go about music. I mean, do your thing. If you're good at something, then it's okay to try something new. It's okay to sell out. I mean, do whatever you want, but it just like it's kind of ruined the culture for me because the reason I got into it was because I just liked the way it sounded and um it wasn't as popular.
Yeah.
But I mean, as far as like my journey with it, how am I going to go forward with it? I'm going to do what I like to do. If I hear something nice, I'll try to make it. But I'm not really looking for $1 million, I'm not trying to be the next KSLV or, you know, I don't even know. I don't listen to funk really that much, like on Spotify. But I mean, also it's been shoved down people's throats because it's on TikTok everywhere.
Hell
So
yeah.
people, I don't even know if people are going to like it in 10 years. I mean, maybe if it's new to them and they never heard of it, but I mean, yeah, it's in a tough spot. So,
I feel you.
you know,
So
I look forward to the future. For all music, I'm always open to experimenting and all that. But with as far as my own stuff goes, I hope to experiment more and incorporate it into things that haven't been heard before.
hell
Um,
yeah.
but really, I think the greatest part about music for me has been meeting people. And unfortunately, I don't really have too many people around me that I'm kind of similar to that are into music because there was like these SoundCloud rappers, um, which they're just not like me at all. I couldn't get down with them.
Right.
But I do have this one friend who I'm really good friends with, but his family situation is really tough and he doesn't have like a good laptop. His laptop dies after like an hour. And so he has
Yeah.
to like speed run make beats.
Yeah. It's like
But yeah, I hope to meet more people. Like it's cool that Kill Fiji or sorry, Fiji. I go by her Instagram name. Fiji, Fallacy, and Private Funeral, they met up. That I'm like hyped for them. Like I
yeah.
was happy when I saw that.
Yeah, that was super sick, and they were talking about that for like a couple, like probably a week now. So like
Mhm.
they were excited about that, and it made me happy to see them meet up. But also like it's so sick for like the sake of like the underground or the scene or whatever you want to call it. Like just like making this shit happen in real life shit, and like
Yeah,
really like doing this for the love of the art, and the love of just community and music. It's so dope that it brings us together in this way.
yeah.
Even us having this conversation right now. And yeah, but it's dope, man. And I feel you because I mean, a lot of my teenagehood or whatever, I lived completely isolated, and people that I went to high school with weren't like me much either. And like music is where my community was. My I fucking internet like through the laptop, fucking internet friends, fucking 20 and all of them and shit were like my little like friend group because I didn't have a in real life person friend group.
Yeah, yeah, I feel you. I definitely like connected for some reason so well with Peep. I don't know if I connected with him or if it was more just like I like the way it sounded and uh I mean I've always loved emotional songs, but I think that's really when I found out that like I don't really know, it's weird. Because I don't know why I like that so much. There's like nothing like an emotional song to me. And
Hell yeah.
I love that sound and
Dude, I I love fucking emotional music, whether it's angry, sad, whatever. It's so much better than something like that's just kind of like surfaced or materialistic and not emotional at all,
yeah.
like physical shit or worldly shit rather than like soulful internal shit.
I mean there's a point where I
I
don't
turn up to like that shit though. Don't get me
yeah.
wrong.
But I mean like if it's orchestral music, I just I can't do orchestral music. I mean I know it's emotional. Like if I was into that, I'm sure it would be great, but
Yeah, it's an acquired taste, I feel like.
I'm just not. And
Yeah.
I mean Frank Sinatra's cool, but
That's more like jazz though, and jazz is cool as fuck.
yeah, I mean it's emotional, I would say. I mean it's romance kind of.
Yeah, he has a lot of romantical songs, and then he has like ballads as well. Like his more mainstream songs are like kind of like
Yeah.
ballads more than anything.
Yeah.
New York. Hell yeah.
I mean, there's so many angles to music.
There
Um,
really is, and that's why like it's so crazy to like that people even tried putting it in a box for so long and that they still do because like I feel like it's so fluid and if you just took any structure away from music, it would just be we would just get like the coolest shit, you know?
yeah.
We would just mix anything without feeling like it's wrong or weird or like whatever based on genre, whatever the fuck.
I mean, there's like 7 billion people in the world. So like how many of those people have their own influences which they put into their music, right? Like
Right.
um like Africa, they have like I don't know if it was Africa, but the dude that's like screaming. Have you seen this? I don't know. I'm not gonna imitate it because I can't do it. But anyway, it's like a joke. I'll send it to you after this,
Yeah.
if I can find it. But this dude's just screaming, which is obviously, well, I don't even know. It's not obviously a joke, but basically, my point is, there's like all this these different types of music from all around the world.
Hmm.
So somebody's gonna like they're bound to make something that is, great. And I think a lot of people can get down with. And I've been thinking about that like a little bit.
Philosophical.
Yeah, philosophically, like all of these people are exactly as complex as me. Like every problem I'm having, they have something that's filling that as
Right.
well. And they all know different people. They don't know me. Like I'm a stranger to them, they're a stranger to me. Um,
But we as humans all share one common thing, and it's humanity. It's the experience of being human.
exactly. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And with all these different people in the world, they're into their own things. So, yeah. I mean, yeah.
Hell
Big
yeah, man.
world.
Big world, many influences, great for music. We, I feel like it's time to start maybe closing it up. But before we do that, I like to ask, because this is your episode, if there's anything that we didn't touch or talk about that you would like to cover before we wrap this up. And if not, we can continue on.
I can't think of anything, but I would just like to point out, like, we were talking about this a little bit before the interview, but it's just like it's great to see you doing this and helping out all these artists. I mean, maybe not helping them out, but just giving them a voice and somewhere to express themselves and just talk about uh, different aspects of their life and just everything revolving around music. I think it's a great thing, and I'm glad that you stuck with it. I'm glad I could be here for a second time. That was cool.
Hell yeah, man. Bro, and I'll say it again, like I said before, it's crazy that time flew this quick. When you told me that it was a year from your last episode, I was completely mind blown that I've been doing this for over a year now, and that like I'm reaching these milestones time wise, I guess. But it's so crazy to have like it's dope that you're our first returning guest, and I want to do more of these, so this is fun. And it was so nice to catch up and just talk. Like it's like because with the regular interviews, it's all about introducing people kind of to the audience and just letting them present themselves kind of like from the beginning and from the basics down up.
yeah,
And this people know who you are if they watch the last interview. So it's kind of as us conversing about anything and just taking it on from where we left off before, which was we got past everything, the introduction, you know?
yeah,
So it was really cool because there is not, it doesn't need so much structure. It's just a nice fluid convo, just talking about a bunch of different shit. I had a great fucking time
yeah.
talking
I,
about,
I had a great time too.
I had a great time talking about funk, a great time talking about the fucking what affects what and shit. Like just talking about different genres of music and all that shit, bruh. Talking
Yeah,
about you, talking about your progress, your development, where you're going, and what you came from within the last year was sick. And I'm excited to see what you do as Crota, as Cowbell Christ, and what else you decide to do expanding wise if you decide to unmark territory, you know,
yeah.
and make something new. And whatever, you know, you're a very underrated individual. You're gonna have your store up soon. That's about to be lit as hell. And whenever that link goes up, that's going to be live, and I will promote it on probably the Instagram story, on the podcast, or whatever, wherever the audience can find it. It will be somewhere.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah, man. Yeah, man. Thank you. Thank you for fucking sticking around with the pod and like being a supporter beyond your interview and stuff and before your interview as well from the beginning. Because it's been a while now, so it's sick. And thank you. I really appreciate it. The
Likewise.
it's crazy because when you think of like anything, whether it's a religion or a nation or any large group of people that are as a one consciousness trying to succeed or do whatever, progress, all you need is one person to believe. So when it comes to like this podcast stuff, bro, like the fact that you guys believe in like me, or not like even if it's like believe in me, but like watch me and like think I'm like a credible person to like show you guys artists and like a credible interviewer and a credible person, to do this shit. I don't have any qualifications besides the fact that I just like to listen to music and I like people who make music and I like to talk to people,
Yeah.
So it's cool that you guys are entertained by that and that I can, that we have this mutual exchange where I can show you guys different shit, different artists, and you guys can, you know,
Yeah.
support my channel and support my cause, which is just showing you guys different artists. So we both win.
Yeah.
Hell
I
yeah,
mean,
man.
it's just a good time to get social and talk to people. I think that's a great part about this scene is just music in general is just, connecting with people, and it's just a good icebreaker. If you like the same artists, you can just talk about things, and it's a great thing. So I really
Yeah,
do appreciate you having me on here for the second time,
hell
and
yeah.
I look forward to seeing all the new people you have this season.
Thank
So
you, man.
yeah, thank you for that.
Yeah, we started off strong with Fishnark, and I don't even know who we have on for the rest of the season. I'm just kind of going as I go.
Yeah, no, that was a great interview. Like that, yeah, I'm so glad that you got him on here because I mean that was so cool. I just thought it was so cool. So
Thank you, man.
yeah,
Yeah, it was. I don't even believe that it happened. It's so crazy. But like I fan out because like my 14-year-old self is like,
yeah, yeah,
but beyond that, now we lead to the wrap up. And again, thank you for sticking around and just being a supporter. I really appreciate it. And that goes out to the people watching too. Man, and also like when it comes to this podcast shit, bro, and like the scene and creating community, bro, like I really have so many like bigger plans for this pod. Like this isn't it. This is the bare minimum of what it's to be. I'm just riding this out as long as I can while I'm preparing my next steps. You feel me?
yeah. No, I understand. Yeah,
So I'm just really excited and I'm glad that people like you and yourself are here along the ride. But anywho, now we're here for the final question. It's the same question we had last time. Crota, what do you got going on in the next day, week, month, year, whatever? It could be what you're eating for breakfast tomorrow. Just tell us what you got going on moving forward. Hell yeah.
So we got college. That's gonna be a big part of my life. For the next couple of years. High school's over. Um, so college, but I'm not sure how I'm gonna have. I mean, I'm gonna make time to make music, I think. And I really do. I hope that I can continue to make things the way that I am and improving as an artist, which I know I'll be able to do. So yeah, college. Keeping up with projects. I mean, I'm not really starting any new projects. I'll probably have a goal because I didn't really have a goal. As opposed to last year, I came out with this big project under Cowbell Christ, Age of Reason. It was like this album I made, which, I mean, it's not my greatest work, but just it was kind of a test to myself, showing that I could make a full-length project
Mm-hmm.
and um, just kind of feel things out because I hadn't really made a big project like that before. And I'm just really glad that I could do that. And um, I want to make something like that. I've been thinking about making a horrorcore um,
Ooh,
horrorcore album or mixtape for Halloween.
that would be so sick.
Yeah, I think that would be really cool. So,
I'm on
um,
the lookout for that. I hope it happens.
I'll try to, yeah, I'll definitely come out with something this probably closer to Christmas, around Christmas, maybe next year, because I have a lot of time right now. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't really done the college thing, so 20 might be able to tell me. But yeah, I mean, college and music, it doesn't stop. The grind doesn't stop.
The grind
So,
doesn't stop. It keeps going. I feel you. Crota, man, thank you for returning and sitting with me for probably the last hour or so. Thank you, people watching and listening on SoundCloud. I just flipped off the camera. On SoundCloud, YouTube, Spotify, and all other streaming services. Thank you guys so much. And no, yeah, man, thank you for returning, bro. It was a good conversation. I had a lot of fun. You're a fucking chill ass dude, bro. Like we literally after our first interview, like I always just know like Crota's a chill ass dude, you know, like so I fuck with you. So to have you come back and just like a chill ass conversation, chill ass people, it was a great vibe.
yeah, man.
Uh,
I really appreciate it.
hell yeah,
Thanks for having me.
hell yeah. Now this leads us to the outro, which was that this was the Cult Personality Podcast. I'm your host, per usual, Mikeymcchoppa. Did I say all this already? This
Mm.
was Crota. Yeah. And then thank you all the people watching and listening and all that stuff. Hell yeah. I don't know who our guest is next week. So yeah, happy Mikey Monday. Oh, I have content coming up. I'm not gonna like spoil it or anything, but content beyond just regular traditional interviews. So that's exciting, and I don't want to make any promises because in this life, sometimes, shit happens that you don't expect. So whatever. But I am excited to, make some new content on the pod channel that isn't just this. But yeah, that's it. That's all there is to look forward to. Thank you guys for watching. Peace, love, and hair grease. Crota, any final words?
Thanks for having me. This guy is a great guy. Shout out him and his family for making him.
Thank you, Crota. Way to make me blush and flatter on the pod. Anywho, we'll see you guys next week. Peace out.